For Taylor, Samantha, and their mother Dawn, rolling the dice in the hopes of scoring Yahtzee is the perfect way to spend an afternoon. But life in the Lee house isn't always fun and games, and when things start to get out of hand during the day, Mom is the primary disciplinarian. Her rationale is simple.
It's not my job to be mean, it's my job to make you a good person, and this is why you can't do that. And they understand.
Dawn says while 6-year-old Samantha is a good-natured child, she's easily distracted.
I'll ask her to do something and she'll say, okay, Mommy, and then she'll get distracted with something else and then she'll forget to do it.
Because I just kind of forget stuff sometimes.
Yahtzee!
And when Taylor needs to be disciplined, it's often sibling rivalry with an attitude that needs to be kept in check.
I get a lot of, Mommy, and stomping, and that's not, we don't accept that in our house. We treat our parents and our other adults with respect. It's almost always her attitude, and lots of times towards her sister.
Taylor is familiar with the routine.
Well, I get in trouble for hitting my sister. She says, don't do that again. That wasn't the right thing to do, and I'm gonna have to take something away.
Pediatrician Dr. Tommy Schechtman says Taylor and Samantha are not alone. All children need discipline in their lives.
I think the number one thing that we need to recognize is that children need structure, they need some form of consistency, and they need to start having some kind of accountability and expectations. We need to sometimes set limits, and we need to make sure that we are consistent in ensuring that those limits are met.
But Dawn and her husband decided early on those limits would not be met with spanking or hitting of any kind.
You don't say to them, don't hit, and then hit them. Because all that does is say it's okay to hit if you're bigger and stronger than the other person.
Dr. Tommy Schechtman says Dawn's theory is right on track.
There have been several studies that have demonstrated that as a reaction to antisocial behavior, spanking or hitting can increase antisocial behavior in that child as that child grows up. Hitting can increase the likelihood of that child becoming physically aggressive or abusive later in his life, whether it's with friends, peers, adults, spouses, or their own children.
Where the cat can reach it.
According to their mother, for Taylor and Samantha, shouting doesn't work either.
If I raise my voice or I start to get angry or they immediately shut down and say, if I can say the same words to them in this tone of voice and they'll understand, but they completely tune me out if I start raising my voice.
So what can parents do as a substitution for yelling and spanking? Dawn believes communication and respect are what keep her daughters on their best behavior.
Let them know you understand. I know you're tired. I know you're getting cranky. I'm sorry. Because, when you get tired, you get cranky too. I'm sure everybody does. And you can't hold your kids to a higher standard than you hold anybody else to.
Dr. Schechtman says a safe place for a child to cool down, often known as time out, can benefit both the child and the parent.
The child is put into a safe environment where the child can't hurt himself, but it does need to be for a short period of time. Rule of thumb, maybe 1 minute per year of age. So a 4-year-old, 4 minutes is sufficient time to disconnect between the child and the parent.
This temporary seclusion acts as a reminder that the child is not going to be rewarded with positive or negative attention after behaving badly. But Dr. Schechtman says not every type of discipline is right for every child. So here are a few tips to discipline without spanking or shouting. Try to anticipate a confrontation and head it off before it gets out of hand. Explain that privileges will be taken away if a bad behavior continues. Talk to your child about your behavior expectations and make sure they are realistic. Praise positive behaviors you want to see repeated, and always be consistent. And remember, do as I do still remains the best way to teach your children how to become responsible, loving adults.
We need to show from a very early age caring, and love. And that certainly by providing those two aspects of our interaction and communication with a child, I think we provide the foundation for appropriate behavior as that child grows up.